Rivas is back. The name of the song isn't Back in the New Jersey Groove. Technically, that's, where the Jets train and play. But he's back in New York for the Jets. Rivas Island has returned, and a person who was on our very first show and hasn't been back since is back on the Rich Eisen show. I had to call this man when Darrelle Revis returned from WFAN of the Joe and Evan program. Joe Benigno. How are you, Joseph?
Richard, it's always a pleasure. A little Ace Frehley, huh? A little back in the New York groove.
Are you?
Played like Welcome Back Carter, too.
Come on,
That's what we did today.
Joe, Revis is back. He's back, Joe.
Tremendous. Tremendous.
You're pumped, huh?
Oh, I got the jersey on. Are you kidding me? No,
You do?
I never do this. Like, I only wear Jet jerseys and only on game day. Today was a special occasion where I actually pulled out. I almost burned the Revis jersey last year and would have burned it today if he would have re-signed with the Patriots. So I still have it. I have it on right now.
So where's the Geno Smith jersey, Joe? Where's that?
Yeah, that's to be determined.
Yeah, Joe. I mean, because look, and I said that in the first hour of the program. I mean, it's a face of the franchise back for a franchise whose face has been its coach, who's now in Western New York, and this is a move that if they could make, they had to make. What do you think about the Jets' new regime, Joe?
Well, I mean, so far so good. I mean, they haven't played a game yet, so let's not get, I don't want to get too crazy yet. But look, I mean, you gotta like what McCagnon's done so far. I mean, he trade for Brandon Marshall. I mean, how could you not like that? I mean, as long as his head's on straight, we know he's a tremendous player. They gave up basically nothing to get him. Obviously Revis is a no-brainer. Buster Skrine, who they just got from Cleveland, and to add to the secondary. They got Fitzpatrick in a trade, which is, he's a stopgap. I mean, I wouldn't just give him the job. I think he's got to compete with the job, with Geno for the job.
Oh, Joe, I mean, there's going to be no competition.
Well, we don't know
come
that.
on,
I'll tell you,
Joe.
let me tell you, Rich, seriously, if that's the quarterback option,
yes.
if that's all it turns out to be, Geno or Fitzpatrick, I hope Geno beats him out, because at least Geno's got some kind of an upside. We know what Fitzpatrick is.
Joe, if Geno Smith cannot beat out the perennial backup, we've seen what happens when he has to play 16 games. He doesn't. And he has you talk about Geno being a turnover machine. This guy from Harvard,
but Rich,
you would think he would have a little bit better of a decision-making skill from Harvard. I mean, he's very serviceable is maybe the best way in terms. If Geno Smith cannot beat out Ryan Fitzpatrick, Joe, then they should cut him now.
Well, look,
and draft Mariota 6th overall.
Well, they may do that anyway. I mean, we may still see that. I mean, how do I know? Maybe Sam Bradford is the Jet quarterback next year. You never know.
You wouldn't want that, would you, Joe?
I would have rather had Foles. I think, because Bradford gets hurt all the time. I mean, we really don't know what Bradford is because he never plays. So I don't really, honestly, I really don't know what he is. Look, if they draft him, I'm not crazy about Mariota, Rich, but if they draft him, and we'll see what happens. The one thing I will say, if they do draft Mariota, by no means should he play right away. I mean, I would not want to see him play for at least half the season if they drafted Mariota.
But they have to see what they have in Geno Smith one more time with Decker,
I agree with that.
Decker, Marshall, right? Decker, Marshall, Ivory, Bilal Powell and Ivory together. Who knows if they draft anybody else? They should go in this draft and get a wide receiver like the rest of the NFL has done and see what the rookie can do. And, Amaro at tight end. Geno has the weapons now in a way that he hasn't had in his first 2 years. And he's got an offensive coordinator who's been there and done that he knows is not going anywhere, Joe. If the Jets go ahead and they got to give Geno one last shot. And if it doesn't work, then they can move forward in a different direction. That's my philosophy on this.
All right, like I said, if they don't take Mariota, I don't disagree with that. I think there still is a glimmer that Geno could be a decent quarterback. We certainly saw what he did in the last game of the year against Miami. Again, Miami. And by the way, good job by them keeping Joe Philbin as the head coach. I love that. But anyway, in spite of signing Sue, and I guess that isn't done yet. Is that done yet, by the way, Sue?
Sue is going to get done. And in that regard, too, why wouldn't the Jets 6th overall, if Vic Beasley's sitting out there and the Dolphins are going to go hunt Brady with Sue, and Rex, we all know what his philosophy is to go hunt Brady. Why wouldn't the Jets go take this kid, 6th overall, stick him on that line with Wilkerson and Richardson and have a stout front seven? They re-sign Harris. Why wouldn't they go ahead and do that, Joe Benigno?
Well, that's the only thing left in my mind. The only thing that they do not have on defense now is an edge pass rusher. I mean, that's really it. I mean, everything else is in place, especially if Cromartie. Last I heard, Cromartie was close. I don't know if it's done yet with Cromartie, but especially if they bring Cromartie in as well now, they have a chance to have a terrific defense.
Aren't they still,
there's no question.
Are they still scarred by the ghost of Vernon Golston as a high draft pick edge rusher that busted out with a guy like Vic Beasley?
No. We don't need Joe. Golston.
Joe, you just heard from Chris Law, a bitter Philadelphia fan who doesn't know what in the heck.
You know what? Let me tell you right now, if I was an Eagle fan, I'd be ticked off today too.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you right now, this genius Chip Kelly, who is another guy that's reinventing the wheel, his moves better come through. Otherwise, he'll be back coaching Oregon again in a couple of years.
You know, Joe, I mean, seriously, the fact that an Eagle fan would pipe up and talk about, well, you wouldn't want to go ahead and draft the de facto best pass rusher in the draft this year because of what happened 9 administrations ago for the Jets. He should pipe down, Joe, right? Shouldn't he pipe down?
You know what, though, Rich? Let me tell you this, seriously, and I don't know, and they do need an edge pass rusher. They really haven't had one since John Abraham, who never played anyway when he was on a team. Rarely did we see him. He'd play 8 games a year and then be hurt, but whatever. You know, I think even more, you hit on it, a game-breaking guy on offense. I don't care if it's a running back, a wide receiver, whatever it is, a Darren Sproles-type player. I think they need that guy maybe even more than the edge pass rusher. I really do.
Joe Benigno, WFAN, joining me here. Before I let you go, how crazy were you when you saw Harvey touch 98 for your beloved Mets?
Oh, my God, tremendous.
What do you think? What do you think?
Well, I mean, here's what I think, Rich. He's got to stay healthy. I mean, it comes down to that. I mean, we could talk about, what he did against let's be honest, Miguel Cabrera and Victor Martinez were not playing when he pitched the other day. I know he's pitching today. But, I mean, he's got to stay healthy. That's the bottom line.
Do you hear A-Rod went yard for the Yanks?
Love it. A-Rod will have a big year. Remember, you heard this from me. A-Rod will go he's going to play at least 120 games, and he will go at least 20-80 for the Yankees.
You just saying that because you want to see him fail, Joe. Let's be honest.
I don't. You're wrong. You're completely wrong. I really believe he's going to have a big year for them. I like A-Rod. I actually like him. I love him because nobody else does.
Is that why? Or you're just a Met fan who doesn't want to see the Yankees do very well, Joe?
No, I don't care. The Yankees aren't good anyway. The Yankees are going nowhere. And the Yankees are right now, this is as pedestrian a Yankee team as we've seen since the Stump Merrill years. I mean, come on.
Stump Merrill. Hey, Stump Merrill. Joe, dropping Stump Merrill on me is way lower than hearing Vernon Golston. Stump Merrill, come on, Joe. Stump Merrill. There was no Tanaka on the Stump Merrill team. McCann, as dreadful as he was last year, come on now, Joe. Come on, Stump Merrill.
How many games did they win? 85? Maybe.
I'm nervous about it. I'm not lying to you. I mean, there's too many hurt, aging stars there for the Yankees to do very well this year, but they have. You can't go Stump Merrill on me. Don't do that.
Well, look, for them to have a really good, for them to be a playoff team, in my mind, every guy in that rotation has to be, has to be better. First of all, has to be healthy and has to be effective. Starting with Tanaka, every guy.
And you got the Revis jersey on right now as we're talking?
I have it on right now. Like I said, I never wear them except on game day.
Got it.
Never.
Well, this is like it.
And I was going to get rid of it. I was going to burn it last year. I said, you know what? I'm not going to do it yet because there's a glimmer he may be back yet.
I'm glad.
He's not. So I put it on today. I would have burned it today if he was a Patriot.
So where did you keep it the last 2 years? Next to the
just with all my other Jet jerseys. I have about 14 or 15 of them.
Next to the Tebow jersey? Was it next to the Tebow jersey, Joe?
I do not have Tebow. No.
You don't have a Tebow?
No, I think it was actually next to the David Harris jersey.
Oh, okay. Where's your Stephen Hill jersey, Joe? Do you have that?
I do not have a Stephen Hill jersey. I have Vinny Testaverde. I have Chad Pennington. I have Al Toon. I have Joe Klecko.
Okay.
I have Damith, Curtis Martin, Dick Mangold. Mo Wilkerson. I do not have Tim Tebow.
I've got one. You know which one I have?
Name it.
Wesley Walker, 85.
Okay.
Wow. 85.
Okay. If I can get a nice throwback Wesley, I would definitely do that.
And my name stitched in the back of it so everybody knew at which bunk at Trails End Camp to return the jersey to. That's what I had with my Wesley Walker. My name stitched in the back, Joe.
I love that.
Oh, yeah. Hey, thanks for calling in. We'll check in again real soon, okay?
Rich, all the love. It's always a pleasure, bro.
You got it. It's Joe Benigno of WFAN, the Joe and Evans Show.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.